Guys, we're going to rock and roll here in a matter of moments. Live on my personal Facebook page. Judy, you check LinkedIn and YouTube for me. I'll cover Twitter and the rest. Take a look at the screen for today's headlines. Take a look at the screen for today's headlines. Busy week. Deep Throat. We're going to talk Mike Pruitt. I called this was going to happen. I've said multiple times on this program that Mike Pruitt was going to make a push for higher office and specifically mention the 5th District in Congress. I literally said this was going to happen. Like and share the show. Someone text message, DM, or tag Mike Pruitt. We're going to be talking about his push for Congress. We'll talk Home Depot as it is very close to opening. Like and share the show, viewers and listeners. Did Kevin Cox embarrass Sam Sanders last night by giving him an envelope full of money and a receipt to reimburse the city in a city council meeting, giving it to Sanders while on the dais? Did he embarrass him, Judah? You love this man. Judah loves Kevin Cox.
I wouldn't say I love him.
You love Kevin Cox. You go to the bat for Kevin Cox.
Okay.
Did he embarrass Sam Sanders last night?
I don't know. I think maybe a little bit.
Intentionally tried to embarrass the city manager last night. He did.
I think he was just making a statement. You want your money? Here it is.
He did it during a city council meeting. During the public comment, walked up and gave him an envelope of money with the receipt.
And told him he could sign it then or later.
Yeah. And Sanders didn't even respond.
Yeah.
As he should not.
Right.
Brian Pinkston had to intervene. We'll talk about it on today's show. Like and share the show, viewers and listeners. Like and share the show. Retweet the show. Jenny Hu, you're the best. Thank you for the retweet. We're live on the group. Are we live on LinkedIn, Judah?
Yeah.
We're actually starting on time today. Shocking. Which headline most intrigues you and why, Judah Wickower?
Oh, let's see. I can't wait to talk about Charlottesville City Council just spinning around with the NZO in their hands and plopping it right back down on the desk.
Insane. Absolutely insane. City Council is so oblivious to many trends in actual real-world society. To move forward with the exact same new zoning ordinance without taking the temperature of what happened over the last 18 or 19 months is obscene to me. It's crazy.
I mean, even besides taking the temperature of what's happened, what have you learned? Like when you go through something and someone's like, okay, what did you learn from this experience? I feel like they would say, oh, nothing. This is the ordinance we want. And it feels like they just haven't learned anything in the time that it's been out.
All right, we'll rock and roll here. Viewers and listeners, let us know your thoughts. Put them in the feed. We'll relay them live on air. It is the Tuesday edition of the I Love CVille show, and a lot to cover, my friends. Judah Wickower, I need 5 seconds to go live. 5, 4, 3, 2. All right, we're good to go.
Hold on. Give me just a second.
We can go with this camera if we need to while you get that live. That way we're not killing time, and then you can work on that. Live programming. You should have seen some of the stuff that we had to do when we were putting on radio and television broadcasts behind the scenes while we were live on air, like scramble mode. Like and share the show, guys. We work hard for you. That's the only thing we ask in return is you like and share the show. We work very hard for you. So follow us on YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Okay. Deep Throat, welcome back in the mix. Love when you watch the program, Deep Throat. Some of these topics are right up your alley, Deep Throat.
Quiet on the set.
Welcome to the I Love CVille show, guys. My name is Jerry Miller. Thank you kindly for joining us. We are live in downtown Charlottesville in our building, the Macklin Building on Market Street, in the epicenter, the heartbeat of Central Virginia, a dynamic region, a dynamic market that is roughly 300,000 people strong that provides quality content for Judah Wickower and I on a daily basis. And goodness gracious, does today's show embody that statement? Who's going to be the next mayor of the city of Charlottesville? Judah and I are going to do a proposition bet. This is an opportunity for Judah Wickower to make up some of his losses from a past prop bet on who will be the next mayor of Charlottesville, Virginia. Now, we have some time, Judah. It's not going to be announced till January. But in July, we can chitter-chatter who will be voted, who will be named the next mayor of the city of Charlottesville on today's program. And remember, current council, actually, the council that is in office on January, because Pinkston will be out and Jen Fleischer will be in, will determine the next mayor. Let's have that conversation, the early conversation going on the Tuesday edition of the I Love CVille show. A prediction that was made months ago by me, yours truly, on this program multiple times in regards to Michael Pruitt, Albemarle County Supervisor, has proven to be correct. Yet again, and yes, I am tooting my own horn here, but yet again, my crystal ball on this show is proven to be very clear and very accurate. I said months ago that Michael Pruitt would be making a run for Congress, for the 5th District, and would be making an announcement this year. And ladies and gentlemen, Michael Pruitt, Scottsville District Supervisor, Albemarle County Board of Supervisors, is making a push for the 5th District. We'll talk about that today. Someone tagged Mike Pruitt on the show. We'll talk Kevin Cox. Goodness gracious, Kevin Cox, you cannot stay out of the headlines. The man, Kevin Cox, loves himself some Kevin Cox. Look, there's a lot of things that I like about Kevin Cox. There's a lot of things that I question about Kevin Cox. I think Kevin Cox loves himself some Kevin Cox. Yesterday in a council meeting, Kevin Cox, during the public speaking portion of the council meeting, while addressing Sam Sanders and city councilors, the recently arrested Kevin Cox, who has to stay out of trouble for 90 days or he's going to get convicted with a misdemeanor, walked up to the dais with an envelope full of money and a receipt and slammed it right in front of the city manager, Sam Sanders, and said, "Damn it, Sam, here's your money for the crosswalk I painted on your city road. Here's your money. Sign this receipt and acknowledge that I paid you the money. Sign it now or give it to me later." Brian Pinkston had to get out of his seat yesterday, pick up the envelope and the receipt while Sam Sanders sat in his chair stone cold without moving. And then Brian Pinkston, the vice mayor, walked the envelope full of money and the receipt to the city clerk and said, "Next person to speak," and immediately moved council in a different direction of Kevin Cox. You can't make this up. You cannot make this up. I will say this, Kevin Cox is a content creator's dream. Kevin Cox, will talk about you yet again on the I Love CVille show. We're going to talk, speaking of council, about the new zoning ordinance. Why move forward with the new zoning ordinance that rankled the city? Why move forward with the new zoning ordinance that pissed people off? Why has city council not learned from the experience of a new zoning ordinance over the last 18 months and change that was frankly a disastrous turn of events? City council and staff are going to say, "Hey, it wasn't our fault that the new zoning ordinance wasn't approved. It was the third party law firm, the high-dollar Gentry Lock law firm that missed a filing deadline." Of course, we're going to move forward with the new zoning ordinance that's exactly the same. We think that this is going to be approved. This was an opportunity for council to learn from its experience of NZO Part 1 and potentially make changes for Part 2 that would appease community members that did not like what was happening. That conversation on today's program. We'll talk Home Depot as it approaches its grand opening on Route 29. I'm going to ask you, the viewer and listener, this question. Is Home Depot the flagship of the Rio Road Route 29 plan. Spencer Pushard put this on my radar. Someone tell Spencer Pushard we're giving him some love. Big fan of Spencer Pushard. Is a fantastic AV specialist. If you need somebody, Spencer Pushard's a great guy to call. Judah Wickhauer, studio camera, then a 2-shot. We get a prop bet coming. You love prop bets. Which headline, my friend, most intrigued you and why today?
Well, I got to go with, the Cox headline is a lot of fun. But
Did he embarrass Sam Sanders?
No, I don't think he embarrassed him. You think Sam Sanders was embarrassed by that?
Sam Sanders is on the dais in a city council meeting that's live streaming all over social media and is also being broadcasted on public television. A petulant, elderly, pedestrian, and bicycle activist utilizes the public speaking portion of the council meeting to lambaste council and staff over his arrest, where he painted a crosswalk without their approval on a city road. He gets arrested by the chief of police, Mike Kochis, and his police force. He goes before a judge in the city of Charlottesville and is ordered by Judge Sneatherin to stay out of trouble for 90 days or risk a misdemeanor going from forgived to conviction.
Yeah.
In the first council meeting after his court appearance this past Thursday, the following Monday, he goes before council and the city manager, barks at council, leaves the public podium, walks toward the dais, which you are not allowed to do. You are not allowed to walk to the dais in council. That's why they have a police officer on site. Walks to the dais and the city manager with an envelope full of cash, an envelope stuffed full of money, and a receipt, and slams it in front of Sam Sanders and says, "Sign it now," acknowledging that I paid you.
He doesn't say that.
He says, "Sign it now or give it to me later," acknowledging that I paid you for the crosswalk damage that I did, painting a water-soluble chalk crosswalk on one of your city roads. Sam Sanders doesn't even address the man. Looks at him stone cold Steve Austin style. The vice mayor has to get out of his seat, Brian Pinkston. He literally gets out of his seat, intervenes for Sam Sanders, picks up the envelope and the receipt, hands it to the city clerk. Brian Pinkston then plops his hiney back down in the chair and says, "Next person." That's what happened last night at city council. And you're telling me he didn't embarrass Sam Sanders?
Do you want to hear that Sam Sanders was embarrassed in front of other people, or that Sam Sanders felt embarrassed?
Judah, you wouldn't describe that as disrespectful.
I think it is somewhat disrespectful.
Isn't disrespectful the sister or brother of embarrassment?
Depending on what you're asking. Are you asking if Sam Sanders himself was personally embarrassed, or if we feel like he was embarrassed in front of the city?
Sam Sanders was disrespected last night in front of the city and is now embarrassed with local media, including this talk show right here. He's certainly disrespected.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
We'll talk Kevin Cox. I'll ask you again, does Kevin Cox stay out of trouble over the next 90 days?
Yeah, I think he does.
You still think he stays out of trouble? God, this is a prop bet waiting to happen. I think this guy is not just petulant.
You already passed on it.
I think this guy, I might be willing to now do a prop bet with you. I think not only is he petulant, Kevin Cox, but I think he is on the edge of uncertain behavior, unexpected behavior.
You think he's going rogue?
Something's going on. What's in the Wheaties, Kevin Cox? I'll leave it at that. A lot we're going to cover on the program. We'll give some love to Charlottesville Sanitary Supply, Judah. 61 years in business. John Vermillion, Andrew Vermillion, Charlottesville Sanitary Supply. 61 years. Charlottesville Sanitary Supply, keeping the Miller family household swimming pool clean, crystal clear blue. Charlottesville Sanitary Supply. John Vermillion and Andrew Vermillion. Contact them, visit them on East High Street at Charlottesville Sanitary Supply, online at charlottesvillesanitarysupply.com. Whether it's your pool cleaning needs, your cleaning needs around your house or your office, your investment properties, you need mechanical work done to your vacuums, to your pool robots, any cleaning machinery, they have a mechanic on site. Charlottesville Sanitary Supply, 61 years in business. The Vermillion family, 5 generations strong in Albemarle County. Love seeing John Vermillion this morning. Have tremendous respect for John Vermillion. A lot we're going to cover on the program. The lead headline, Judah Wickhauer. Let the viewers and listeners know what the lead headline is and put it live on screen.
Who will be named next mayor of Charlotte?
This is a proposition bet waiting to happen. Deep Throat. Who's the next mayor of the city of Charlottesville? Travis Wilburn of Stay Charlottesville. Who's the next mayor of the city of Charlottesville? James Watson. Georgia Gilmer. Who's the next mayor of Charlottesville? Steve White. The next mayor of the city of Charlottesville, Curtis Shaver. Who's the next mayor of the city of Charlottesville? William Tucker, Jehu Martin, Barbara Bassick, Tom Powell. Next mayor of the city of Charlottesville. Who do you got, viewers and listeners? Judah Wickhauer, this is a prop bet waiting to happen for you and I. We put a bottle of bourbon or scotch on the line. $75 cap on the bottle's cost. It goes to the studio bar. Anytime a bottle is cracked or poured on this bar, both of us get to drink it. This is a proposition bet waiting to happen. We will know in January at the first council meeting who will be the next mayor of the city of Charlottesville. Make your case of who the next mayor of the city of Charlottesville will be.
Are they allowed to pick the same person?
Do you want to pick the same person?
I didn't say I wanted to. I asked.
Juan Diego Wade, the current mayor. I've already beat you in this proposition bet. You last said Michael Payne would be named mayor of the city of Charlottesville by his contemporary or peers, city councilors. I said, no way, Jose. It's going to be Juan Diego Wade. You pick Payne, I pick Wade. I won. You bought a bottle of Johnny Walker Black for the bar. Now we do the same bet again as Juan Diego Wade's term at mayor is expiring at the end of this year. I do not think Juan Diego Wade will be named mayor again by his peers. I think fresh blood will be in the mix. That's just my call. That's some insight into what my answer to my bet will be. It's a proposition bet, viewers and listeners. Next mayor of the city of Charlottesville.
I mean, time to think about it.
You got Natalie Ostrin. It's a talk show. Time to think about it is now. Natalie Ostrin, Jen Fleischer, Lloyd Snook, the Snookinator. He's already been mayor twice, the Snookinator. Yeah. Major Payne, Michael Payne. Nat GBT, Natalie Ostrin. We need a nickname for Jen Fleischer. Vanilla Pinkston is off the council dais. Vanilla Pinkston is out. Juan Diego Wade. What's Juan Diego Wade's nickname? I don't think we ever gave Juan Diego Wade. And counselors that watch this program, we offer these nicknames. We kid because we care. It's not an insult. We kid because we care. We love Lloyd the Snookinator tremendously. We love the Snookinator. Major Payne, we don't always agree with Major Payne. At least I don't. He's a socialist. I'm far from it. I'm a capitalist and a libertarian, but I respect Major Payne. Nat GBT, I don't know you, Nat GBT. You don't respond to my DMs, Nat GBT. You won't come on the talk show. Nat GBT, what's going on? Vanilla Pinkston's come on the program. Love Vanilla Pinkston. He likes craft beer like I do. I see him at Selvage Brewery. I see him at Cardinal Hall. See him all over town. He's a man of the people, Vanilla Pinkston. Jen Fleischer, we need a nickname for Jen Fleischer. We need a nickname for Jen. Who's going to be the next mayor of the city of Charlottesville? I think that you have 3 choices where this could be.
Yeah, if we're discounting anyone who's been mayor before.
I don't think it's going to be Jen Fleischer because she will be just taking the job.
Yeah.
Okay? I discount her. I don't think it's going to be the Snookinator because he's already been mayor twice.
Yeah.
So I think you got Juan, Nat GBT, and Major Payne. Who's going to be the next mayor of the city of Charlottesville?
Oh, man.
Curtis Shaver and Tom Powell say, my vote is Jerry Miller. Jerry, yours truly lives in Albemarle County. I love Curtis Shaver and Tom Powell. Carol Thorpe, she has a vote. She says Natalie Ostrin. Deep Throat says Natalie Oshrin. Judah Wickhauer, we're going to put $75 bottle of brown juice on the line here. Am I peer pressuring you? I'm bullying you? You don't have to do this if you don't want to.
I'm going to go with the popular opinion and vote for Natalie Oshrin.
Golly. For me, it's two people. It's either Nat GBT or Major Payne.
Yeah.
I don't think Juan's going to get it again.
Okay.
I think it's Nat GBT or Major Payne. Viewers and listeners, what are your thoughts? Are we going to do a prop bet on this, yes or no?
Why not?
We are going to do a prop bet on this? I don't mean to peer pressure you. You do not have to do this if you don't want to. This is your out to not do this if you don't want to. I am 9-1 on proposition bets on this network. 9 victories, 1 loss. We don't have to do this if you want to. Viewers and listeners, you are hearing me say to Judah, he does not have to do this if he does not want to.
I'll take it.
You're going to do it.
Sure.
$75 brown juice on Nat GBT? Golly, you got some cojones, man. I did not think you were going to make this bet. And I respect your position here. Because you went, John Blair thinks Juan Diego Wade will be the next mayor for back-to-back terms.
Wow.
He says, I'd also like to compliment you on your prediction of Michael Pruitt. You were correct on that. All right, I'm going to go ahead and straight up say this. For the sake of a talk show and to have an active proposition bet, because the good Lord knows that I have some gamble to me. I like to gamble. The good Lord knows I got some gamble to me. For the sake of a talk show and so we can have an active proposition bet, I'm going to go with Michael Payne.
All right.
750 milliliter bottle of Johnny Walker Black on the line?
Sure.
Is that what we're going to call it, or are we going to go with the Macallan 12?
I don't know how much that was, but
The Macallan 12 is under 75.
they're both good.
What's your preference? You get to pick the booze.
Oh, man, I haven't had either one of them in a while.
We're not going to have it for a while either. This isn't going to be determined until January, but it's great for a talk show.
Let's see Macallan.
All right, Macallan 12 is on the line. We'll go Macallan 12. All right, I'll go Michael Payne. I'm going to make the argument of Michael Payne for the following reasons. And then you make your Natalie Oshrin argument. Then viewers and listeners, let us know who you think will be named the next mayor of the city of Charlottesville and why. Here's my argument, which I think is convincing, which is leading me to believe it's Michael Payne in our proposition bet. A, Michael Payne's in the middle of his second term. B, while I think Natalie Oshrin would be a great mayor, and while the city has not had a female mayor in an extended period of time, not since the debacle of Nakia Walker, and good God, was that a debacle? Rape poetry about Charlottesville,
Yep.
driving the Woodards out of city development, and turning City Hall into a absolute fiasco. That was the last female mayor in Charlottesville. Natalie Oshrin and Michael Payne, I was even on who would be named the next mayor. I'm going to pick Payne because he's in his second term while Oshrin is still in her first term. Payne has paid his dues. Payne is very persuasive, very influential, very convincing, very established in the socialist movement in Charlottesville, very established in the activist group Indivisible Charlottesville, very established in the Democratic city of Charlottesville circles. Payne bleeds politics. It's his top source of income. Has he moved out of his parents' basement yet? You hate when I bring that up on the show. Has he moved out of his parents' basement yet? Do we know?
I don't.
I don't know. Does anyone know if he's moved out of his parents' basement yet? Michael Payne? I pick Michael Payne because he's in the middle of his second term. He is level-headed. I kid because I care. He is very level-headed.
Yeah.
He's extremely intelligent. He knows the issues inside and out. He's nuanced. I am the 180-degree opposite of his politics, but I respect that the man does his homework. I respect it. I think Natalie Oshrin being named mayor of Charlottesville, the optics of an event planner who works for Pippin Hill, who's shilling $300,000 plus weddings in Albemarle County, the optics of Natalie Oshrin, who's championing a road diet and bicycle and pedestrian safety and evangelizing for bikes and pedestrians in the city of Charlottesville while she gets in her vehicle and drives 30 minutes through the streets of the city of Charlottesville to North Garden to Pippin Hill to sell $300,000 weddings to carpetbaggers? I think the optics of that are questionable. What she has going for her, whether we want to admit this or not, is the fact that there has not been a woman mayor in Charlottesville in some time. Mm-hmm. I'll go Michael Payne for the following reasons that I outlined. Your thoughts, Judah Wickower?
Those are all good points. I think they're less applicable as it's not. This isn't a vote from the people of Charlottesville, and I think that you're right. It's been a while since we've had a woman as mayor.
Not since Nakia Walker.
Yeah.
What's Nakia Walker's nickname on the talk show? I don't think Nakia Walker needs a nickname on the talk show. It's just Nakia. Not since Nakia have we had a woman mayor.
Yeah. I don't have many good reasons.
Very convincing argument for a talk show. I don't have very many good reasons.
I'm sorry. I'm not as political as you. I think that given the fact that I don't know. Given the fact that Michael Payne has been passed over, you're probably going to win this.
No, don't make a bet that you think you're going to lose.
I don't. I don't have any idea.
No one has any idea. We don't know the future. I have no inside information here. And other of the 10 prop bets I've done where I've gone 9-1 on proposition bets on this network, I'd say 50% of those proposition bets, I've had inside information. I've won those bets with inside information. In this particular circumstance, and there's nothing wrong with having inside information on the proposition bets, it's just being savvy, astute, and street smart. Mm-hmm. On this scenario, I have no inside information.
And neither do I. I really don't have a whole lot to go on. I think that Natalie Oshrin has been a rather quiet counselor on the city council, and I think that that may serve her as a good choice for someone who's just a steady rock and someone that can be relied on.
Photos on screen for the viewers and listeners who are offering their perspective. Number one, Deep Throat from his sprawling ranch in Montana. Number one in the family. He says, my next pick Deep Throat does is Natalie Oshrin for mayor. That's a check mark in your column, and Deep Throat's a smart guy. Mm-hmm. He says, Michael Payne, I think, does not want it. By the way, the more I deal with Michael Payne, the more I think he is the best and smartest guy up there, even though I disagree with his ideology.
Yeah.
Deep Throat says, Natalie Oshrin's conflict of interest nobody talks about. Her father, who is her main political advisor, if not controller, runs an organization that advocates for and helps people out. And let me read that again. Natalie Oshrin's father, Deep Throat's words, who is her main political advisor, if not controller, runs an organization that advocates for and helps people put tiny homes and ADUs in their backyards. No press outlet ever mentioned or covered this. What a joke. He said, I've always called Pinkston and Wayne. These are Deep Throat's words. Brian and Juan, these are Deep Throat's words. These are not mine. Deep Throat says, I've always called Pinkston and Wade Pinky and the... I'm gonna modify what he said here. Pinky and the brain. Pinky and the brain.
Oh.
Pinky and the brain. Deep Throat also says, Oshrin, I think, really wants to be mayor. She's an eager beaver resume monger. Payne is totally opposite. And Deep Throat says, yes, I think Michael Payne lives on his own now. So he's moved out of his parents' house. All right, I'll say this, and we'll get off this topic and go to the next one. Natalie Oshrin is to Charlottesville City Council what Michael Pruitt is to the Albemarle County Board of Supervisors. Natalie Oshrin is to Charlottesville City Councilor. She's looking at the dais of Charlottesville as a platform or as a trampoline to higher office. Michael Payne, and we're about to talk about him running for Congress, is utilizing... What?
Pruitt.
Michael Pruitt, thank you. And we're going to talk about Pruitt running for Congress in a matter of moments, is using the Board of Supervisors as a trampoline to higher office. I told you that was going to happen. Alstrin, very much of the same category and ilk. And there's nothing wrong with being ambitious. There is nothing wrong with wanting more things in life. Working hard, ambition is a motivation. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. All right, we got a bet. Don't forget it. I know you won't. Carol Thorpe's got comments. Her photo on screen. Tom Powell cautions you to be careful with proposition bets with me, Judah.
Yeah. No kidding.
Carol Thorpe says, I think it will be Natalie Alstrin. Carol Thorpe in the Jack Jewett District, her photo on screen. Nakaya became mayor immediately upon starting her first term. Council experience is not required, and the precedent, if it didn't begin with Nakaya, has been established. Carol Thorpe says, if Juan Diego doesn't want a second term, and that's a big if, I think even for Charlottesville, Michael Payne may be too controversial. Wow, too controversial for Charlottesville. Carol Thorpe has a great feel for politics. I appreciate your comments, Carol Thorpe. Logan Wells, Claylo, watching the broadcast. Before we go to our next topic, and I'm going to ask you to read the headline, I'd love to give some love to Conan Owen and Sir Speedy of Central Virginia. If you have a logo, ladies and gentlemen, Sir Speedy can find an application to scale or amplify your logo and your business branding. Sir Speedy of Central Virginia is locally owned and operated. Conan Owen is the owner and CEO of Sir Speedy of Central Virginia. He's a Darting graduate. He's a small business owner, and he is committed to helping small business owners grow their brand and footprint locally. Conan Owen and Sir Speedy of Central Virginia are a fantastic resource for your business development needs and expectations. Next headline, Judah Wickhauer, put it on screen. What do you got?
Does the Board of Visitors know how to rebuild UVA?
Okay, I got this topic from a viewer and listener that I respect tremendously that has asked to maintain anonymity. It is not Deep Throat. This is from somebody that has inside information all over Charlottesville and Albemarle County. As connected as anyone in Charlottesville and Albemarle County from a city hall and local government and local politics standpoint, as I know. And I'm going to leave it at that because I respect this person too much to offer more insight in who it is. This is not Deep Throat. This text message came in. Jerry, you asked, this was at 8:18 in the morning today. Jerry, you asked yesterday why, and Judah, listen to this because I want you to offer some response. Jerry, you asked yesterday why the UVA Board of Visitors has not moved to replace the vacuum of senior leadership. It's simple. It's not the Board of Visitors' mission. They don't know how to replace senior leadership. Their mission is the MAGA mission. Burn it all down, just like the woke, just like former Mayor Nakaya Walker. They both see situations and people they hate and attack and burn it to the ground without fear of consequence or thought of rebuilding. What is MAGA's mission? Own the liberals by any means necessary, even if you have to cut off the basic necessities of your base, food stamps, Medicare, for example. This particular individual says there are exceptions to these movements. They are not burners, they are builders. For example, future Mayor Michael Payne is a builder. He says with his new coalition on council, they will quickly begin building their socialist utopia. If you are opposed to this, you should be very concerned. If you are worried about MAGA, you should be less concerned about what they build from the ruins because they don't know how to do it. So maybe a little inside information there on my Michael Payne prop bet right there. But he says the Board of Visitors and the MAGA movement on the Board of Visitors, a Youngkin-led movement, has no conception of rebuilding UVA, and that's why there's been no emergency meeting. That's why you have a president position open, a provost position open, UVA Health System CEO open, dean of the medical school open, CEO of the UVA hospital open. 5 of the 8 most important positions at the University of Virginia are all vacant right now.
Yeah.
Do you buy what he's selling? And is the lower third on screen?
Yep.
Do you buy what he's selling?
Yeah, I buy it.
You do buy it. Okay, go ahead.
I think it's best illustrated by the fact that the Board of Visitors was notably absent when President Ryan was being pressured to, allegedly being pressured to leave his position, and then did leave his position. And throughout that entire week up through today, we haven't heard a peep from the Board of Visitors. I think when the order came down, so to speak, from on high, some of them may have looked at each other and realized, what happens if President Ryan actually leaves? And they probably still don't have an answer. I think he's right. I think they've stepped in it, and now they're looking for something they can wipe their shoe on. But that's not gonna help them here.
Jason Noble, watching the program, his photo on screen. He says, Jerry, that insider's take is stupid. He says, MAGA doesn't just want to own the liberals. That's a stupid take. Was the sole purpose of the Youngkin-appointed Board of Visitors to burn it all down? And was that sole focus to burn it all down at Thomas Jefferson's University, missing a rebuild strategy or plan?
I don't necessarily agree that their whole point was to burn everything down, but I don't know that they have any strategy for how to put it back together.
Viewers and listeners, what are your thoughts? Put them in the feed. I'll relay them live on air. I think it's curious at best, concerning more realistically, flabbergasting perhaps most sincerely, excuse me, that there's been no emergency meetings.
Yeah.
It is shocking that there's no meetings right now with 5 of the 8 most important positions vacant.
No doubt.
Did they burn it all down without a plan to rebuild? If their plan to rebuild, if their burn it all down plan did not include a rebuild strategy before Spanberger wins the governor's mansion, then this board and this administration is foolish. Because the first stage of burn it all down has to be immediately complemented by the second stage of rebuild it up before we lose control when Spanberger wins in November.
That's part of the reason I don't know that I think that they really wanted to burn it all down. I think they lit a fire and were surprised at how quickly it spread.
No, I don't think they were surprised with how quickly it spread.
You don't?
You're surprised. It didn't spread that quickly.
I mean,
Youngkin has had, or Jim Ryan has had his balls in a vice for how long?
Yeah, but did they really expect him to just abdicate?
You use your influence, whether through Cuccinelli or somebody else, with the Department of Justice and the Trump administration to rain holy hell on the University of Virginia, and are surprised when holy hell rains at a momentum and level not seen in Charlottesville since when?
So you think they had all this planned, and yet they had no plan to rebuild it?
John Blair, thank you for the correction. He's exactly right. It's really even more than that. John Blair says it's really 6 out of the 8 top execs not filled. Colette Sheehy retired this spring as well. She was a C-suite member. Tim Rose also retired John Blair. So at the UVA Foundation, you had Tim Rose, the CEO, and Colette Sheehy retire. Top 2 at the foundation. So there's 2.
Yeah.
You got the president and provost, John Blair, out of the school. That's the top 2 at the school. Mm-hmm. At the UVA Health, you have the top 3. You have the top 2 positions at the foundation. Now, Rose's position has since been filled. by a former CEO of the Charlottesville Area Association of Realtors. I actually saw her at a ribbon cutting ceremony recently. So Rose's position has since been filled. So while it went vacant, you have since filled it. So maybe that's why John's not including Rose on there. John's super connected and savvy guy. Okay, so he says 6 out of the top 8. The insider that's texting me at 8:18 in the morning says the MAGA movement with the Board of Visitors in Yunkin, and you can tell I'm an equal opportunity employer when it comes to politics on this talk show here. It's not just this, liberals this, Republicans that. It's both. But the MAGA movement on the Board of Visitors, I don't think at this point, the 22nd of July, they have a rebuild plan. Because if their rebuild plan is not an immediate rebuild before Spanberger wins, or unless the MAGA movement on the Board of Visitors was so convinced because Trump won in convincing fashion and that Youngkin was in the governor's mansion, unless that they were convinced that the governor, Winsome Earl Sears, and Spanberger, unless they thought that race was going to go Winsome Earl Sears. Winsome Sears. You think I'm wrong on that?
Would they put that much? Investment in Winsome Earl Sears winning?
Burt Ellis, when he came on the talk show, the jettison, scapegoated Board of Visitors member from his Tony and posh pad in Atlanta and his super deluxe white kitchen with granite countertops and a waterfall granite island. He said, I straight up donated to Winsome Earl Sears and hope she wins.
Hope is a very different animal than
Touche.
Than believing.
Touche, monsieur. Touche.
What do you call me?
I have no idea. I literally have no idea. You're the guy who's the French.
I think you either called me your sister or your heart.
Touche. What's Mr. in French?
Mr. Monsieur.
Touche, monsieur.
There we go.
Touche, monsieur. Jason Noble, I don't think they wanted to burn everything down, but they probably knew it was prudent to just watch UVA burn it down itself. Rake stepping. Jason Noble says it's akin to not interrupting your enemy when they're making a mistake.
That's fair.
Well, to the insider's point this morning, it got me thinking. The insider who texted me at 8:18 a.m. legitimately contributed 2 topics to the talk show today. Who's the next mayor of the city of Charlottesville and the burn down MAGA appointed movement, and did they have a plan to rebuild?
Yeah.
And on that note, if Payne does win mayor, what is that going to do for business and development in the city? What's that going to do for optics of the Charlottesville brand? Legit questions.
I mean, does he have enough power to?
No, it's a figurehead position.
Yeah.
But it's the optics that are the power. The optics are the power. Next headline, what do you got, Judah Wickauer?
Pruitt.
We called this. Mike Pruitt, you watching the program? Pruitt, you watching the program? I got a text message from the Mike Pruitt campaign this morning. And this campaign, literally, just so you can show that am I on this shot here?
Yeah.
I got this photo of Mike Pruitt texted to me. Look, he's showing some cannons right there. Look at those biceps from Pruitt. Can they see this?
Kind of. It's a little washed out.
Is that better?
That helps. But,
I got this photo here. Does this help? Is that better?
Yeah, that's better.
Pruitt's got some cannons over there. Look at those pythons over there. Look at those biceps from Mikey Pruitt. And what's this a tattoo of? Let me zoom in on the tattoo. Showing some ink over there, Mike Pruitt. Is that a bonsai tree, Mike Pruitt? What is that? Is that a bonsai tree for Pruitt? Is that a tattoo of a bonsai tree? Before I vote for anyone, I need to know if Mike Pruitt has a bonsai tree tattooed on his bicep. Is that a bonsai tree?
Tough to say.
Big P, do you got a bonsai tree over there? This is the text message I get from Pruitt. Jerry, I'm Mike Pruitt. And this is a campaign text, by the way. Jerry.
Oh, okay. Is this recent?
I think this is like an automated text. Like one
Was
of
it
those
recent?
robo texts. Yeah, literally at 11:46 a.m.
Okay.
Jerry, I'm Mike Pruitt. Enough is enough. I'm a Navy veteran, civil rights lawyer, and Albemarle County supervisor running to defeat vulnerable Republican John McGuire. And here's why. For too long, the powerful and well-connected have used their outsized influence to walk all over poor and working-class communities like the one I grew up in. Do you need proof, Jerry? Just this month, they outright put the boot on our neck. That's a bit dramatic, Mike. By voting to gut support for rural hospitals and food assistance. And our opponent is bought and paid for by the big corporations and special interests screwing us over. A corrupt political machine is shielding representatives like John McGuire from the consequences of his votes. But we're in position to stop it. Jerry. Remember John McGuire's bill that screwed over working people passed the House by only one vote. Jerry. This is one of the most flippable seats in Congress. Jerry. Can you join our fight and become one of the 117 more donors on launch day? We need money. Jerry. Stop to quit. I added a couple Jerrys for the sake of a talk show there, but there were multiple Jerrys in there. I want to know if Mike Pruitt has a bonsai tree on his bicep. Is that a bonsai tree?
I don't think it is.
Is this a bonsai tree, Mike Pruitt, on your bicep? Mr. Miyagi is very good at manicuring bonsai trees. And he taught that lesson to Daniel LaRusso. Then Michael Pruitt learned from Mr. Miyagi on how to trim a bonsai tree. Pat Morita, I think is, what is it?
Morita.
Morita. Did you know Jackie Chan is playing Mr. Miyagi in a Karate Kid revamp?
I thought he already did.
Did it already air? Did I miss it?
I don't know. Is that the one with what's his name? I don't know. I'll look it up.
First off, I wish nothing but Mike Pruitt success. Like Mike Pruitt, all around good guys. Come on the talk show.
He played Mr. Han in the Karate Kid that came out in 2010.
Jackie Chan?
Yeah.
No, but there's a new one.
A new one?
There's a new Karate Kid coming out. Karate Kid, new movie. Let's just Google that. Karate Kid Legends. Karate Kid Legends is a 2025 American martial arts drama featuring Jackie Chan and Ralph Macchio, while introducing Ben Wang as the main lead. Yeah, Karate Kid Legends. Come on, dog. Come on.
Come on, dog.
Come on.
How could you not be intimately aware of all things Karate Kid, right?
Who doesn't love the Karate Kid? I love the Karate Kid. Wax on, wax off.
So you saw the 2010 version?
I think I did. I have no idea.
That's just how much you love it.
I have no idea. Pruitt, props to you. We all knew one term on the Board of Supervisors was going to be the extent that you would serve the Scottsville District. You ran unopposed in the Scottsville District, perhaps because someone on this talk show was not getting sleep for 7 months while his second child created much friction for his family unit. Now, as you jump into the cesspool that we call Congress, you will have tremendous opposition. And the 5th District, unlike Albemarle County, the 5th District is as red gets. And the 5th District will not be determined by the Mill Creek voting block that put you into office in Albemarle County. Instead, it's going to be determined by many rural voters across the 5th District, which is a district as large as some states in our free union, geography and territory-wise. The last liberal to win in the 5th District, do we know, Judah, who that was?
No, I don't have the answer to that.
I want to confirm this. 5th District people. Let's see if I can get it. I want to make sure I'm 100% right. I should know this. I'm disappointed in myself. I'm often disappointed in myself. I'm disappointed in myself that I do not know this. Carol Thorpe would know this. John McGuire, current. Bob Good, who beat the bejeebus out of Josh Throneberg. John McGuire beat the bejeebus out of Gloria Witt. Bob Good scares the bejeebus. There's nothing good about Bob Good, but he beat the bejeebus out of Josh Stromberg. Bob Good beat the bejeebus out of Cameron Webb. Denver Riggleman's a libertarian. He beat the bejeebus out of Leslie Cockburn. Tom Garrett beat the bejeebus out of Jane Dittmar, who was on the Albemarle County Board of Supervisors. Carol Thorpe, this is a question for you. Can you help me figure out this answer? Who was the last Democrat? Was it Tom Perriello, Charlottesville's finest Tom Perriello, the last Democrat in the 5th District? And he lost the re-election bid. Am I right, Queen of Jack Jewett, who follows politics inside and out? Wasn't it Tommy P., the last Democrat in the 5th District? And Tommy P., what was that, 15, 16, 18 years ago, Carol, for Tommy P. to get in the 5th? It's one thing to win unopposed a seat on the Albemarle County Board of Supervisors.
No doubt.
It's another thing altogether to win a seat in the 5th District, a district that is as red gets.
And
when you are extremely liberal, which Mike Pruitt is.
And so far has 3 other candidates.
I'm
with
pretty,
15 months to go.
Is it 3 other candidates? I thought it was more. Is that what's in the Daily Progress report?
Yeah, it's in Daily Progress.
All right, 15 months to go, and there's 3 other candidates. So he knows the value of announcing early to build name recognition. One-term Tom, Carol Thorpe. Thank you, Carol Thorpe. Thank you, CT. Time will tell what happens. Deep Throat says, a little early to be declaring for Congress. No, 16 months ahead of the election. Has been a BOS less than a year, unseemingly. He's basically saying, Mike Pruitt, you've been on the Board of Supervisors for barely any time, and you are already declaring for Congress. It makes you seem, Deep Throat says, as if you are get a job, immediately put your foot outside the door for a new job. Next headline, what do you got, Judah Wickar?
Next, we have Kevin Cox. Did
All right.
he embarrass Sam Sanders?
We're going to disagree on this. Deep Throat says, on the point of embarrassment, yes. Last night, those in council chambers applauded Kevin Cox after he slammed a wad of cash in an envelope in front of city manager Sam Sanders as if he was hiring a hitman to take out an enemy. As if he was in a windowless, shady bar, wad of cash slammed down on a tavern bar stool, bar top, to take out an enemy via a hitman. Kevin Cox slams a wad of cash in front of city manager Sam Sanders and a receipt and says, sign it, Sam. Sign it now.
Oh, my goodness. I mean, when you put it that way, then yeah, I'll agree with you, Al, that he was
Which part is incorrect that I said there?
I'm not
Which part
say
is
that
incorrect?
He
spoke in public forum, right?
Yep.
He talked about himself in his case. He left the public podium, walked around it, walked to the dais, which you are not allowed to do. You're not allowed to approach the councilors and the city manager.
The cop didn't stop him.
He got an envelope with money in it and slammed it in front of Sam Sanders and says, here's your money. Sign the receipt acknowledging that I reimbursed you. Which part did I describe as not accurate?
You may have embellished a little, Jerry.
Which part did I say there's not?
There were any inaccuracies,
Okay.
Just perhaps a fair amount of embellishment.
It's a colorful language for the sake of a talk show. Educate, entertain, and enlighten. Our mission on the I Love CVille show.
I'm not complaining.
There's podcasts out there that are nothing, the facts, man, and nothing but the facts. And we're the facts with some color. That's what we like to do. He embarrassed Sam Sanders. That's why Sam didn't acknowledge him. He embarrassed Sam. Steve Spalding, welcome to the broadcast.
I mean, the whole thing has been a bit of an embarrassment.
It's embarrassing. And he's got to stay out of trouble. He literally left the courtroom Thursday. Yeah. And on Monday night, he left the courtroom last Thursday. And on Monday night, he is on city council broadcast channels, public access television, and all their social media, humiliating the city manager. And media is covering it left and right today.
Yeah.
Kevin Cox. Next topic, what do you got? And before we get to the next topic, let's highlight our friends, our division at Charlottesville Business Brokers. We're on the cusp of selling another business, guys. We are moving and shaking at Charlottesville Business Brokers. Online at charlottesvillebusinessbrokers.com. If you need to buy or sell a business, if you want to sell your business, reach out to me, Charlottesville Business Brokers. We have a network of folks that will hard money lend. We have buyers and sellers. We can help with the leasing, the commercial, all aspects of the commercial game. Charlottesville Business Brokers, ladies and gentlemen. Next topic. What do you got, Judah Wickower? Put that lower third on screen.
CVille City Council to readopt an unchanged NZO.
You found this. We'll give this 90 seconds.
90 seconds.
We can give it a little more if you need to. You found this fascinating.
I'm just flabbergasted. We've talked on this show, and I believe you've talked about it with Keith Smith and other people.
Jerry Cox, the lawyer.
In that, and Jerry Cox about the fact that that the NZO has not resulted in any appreciable construction of housing. We've got all these apartment houses going up. Maybe that's all they want, but I don't think the apartments that are being built really do they have anything to do with the NZO?
The vast majority of the multifamily that's coming online was done under the old zoning ordinance before the new zoning debacle. The old zoning ordinance that's the current zoning ordinance now.
But even so, they're not taking advantage of what the NZO is intended for, correct?
Well, the current NZO has some fatal flaws, and some of those fatal flaws is the affordable housing restrictions, where if let me get the exact language here. I have it saved in my email.
But there was also, I believe, the NZO was created in order to push the idea that you can build in residential areas.
The affordable housing requirements in the city of Charlottesville under the new zoning ordinance that is now in zoning purgatory. 10% of units on developments that are 9 units or more must be affordable at 60% area median income for 99 years. Insanity. Tell a developer that 10% of their units must be at 60% area median income for 99 years, which that 99 years supersedes the actual longevity of the stock that they're building.
Not to mention pretty much everyone building it.
Not to mention that they're straight up telling the city, we can't financially pencil this out. We can't get money lent to us if you required 10% of the units to be affordable at 60% AMI for 99 years. This is the definition of idiocy. The definition of people that don't know what's going on. And yet they're going to go with the same path.
And that's what I find so curious. You would think that anyone, after a year and a half, would have some insight into what's gone right, what's gone wrong, and perhaps had maybe a thought or maybe even two about how it could be done better. But apparently nobody has had any thoughts, and instead they're just going to, like I said, spin around and plop it back down on the desk like they're doing some kind of magic show.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
Yeah.
Deep throat, an important addition to what you just said, Jerry. Any developer can buy out the affordability requirement, and the buyout amounts are quite small. It tells you that the margins building here are narrow. Zoning was never a binding constraint. He's always said it's never been about zoning, the housing affordability issues we have here. I am also shocked. And I would very much encourage the city officials that watch this program to, with your tail between your legs, head over to the plaintiffs and negotiate with them. And yes, when you do negotiate with the plaintiffs, city officials, you're going to be doing it with egg on your face, with your tail between your legs, and your ears down, like my German Shepherd Max does when he takes a French toast stick off Zachary's plate at breakfast.
What would they begin negotiating with the plaintiffs about?
If I was the city, the first thing I would do would try to get these plaintiffs, this lawsuit done. I would say, we're willing to negotiate some elements of the new zoning ordinance with you, make you happy on the condition you don't continue suing us. That's called being business people. Go to the people that are suing you. Look, our 7-year-old son is showing some interest into what we do for a living. What is it that we do for a living here?
It depends on which portion you're.
What is the primary thing that I do?
You do real estate.
Primary thing that I do is figure out problems for people that can afford to pay us. That's what I do.
Okay.
I either put out fires or figure out problems for people that can afford to pay us. That's how we make our living. And we've used that, figure out problems for people that can afford to pay us, to buy real estate and to have 24 doors in our portfolio. But that's what we do. My son's showing interest in that. And he says, Dad, how do you make a deal? I said, I give him tips on making a deal. First thing you do if you want to make a deal is don't be the first person that speaks. Listen to whoever you're making a deal with. Speak second or last. Second thing you want to do, I say, to make a deal, he says, son, he'll say, Daddy, this is what you got to do. Because I told him, figure out what the other side wants. Find a way to give it to them and use that to get what you want. He'll straight up tell me that. He's 7 years old. I think this is our 1:30 meeting coming in. His name is Zach. Let's have him wait in the waiting room. The city needs to go to the plaintiffs and say, what is it that you want that'll make you go away, and give it to them.
Stay out of our neighborhood.
And stop suing us. All right. We got to close on this because my 1:30 is about to come in here, and this is one of those opportunities where we can close a deal. Which headlines did we not get to today?
Talking about Home Depot and whether or not it's the flagship of...
Save Home Depot and whether or not it's the flagship of the Route 29 Rio Road small area plan and the influence it has for tomorrow's show. Okay? I'm going to go get our 1:30 here. Thank you kindly for joining us. I'm Jerry Miller. It's the I Love CVille show. So long.